Hello, my name is Brittany Dye, and I'm going to go over my client with you for my tentative assignment, Clint Bowling. He is part of the Bowling family that live in Mudlick Hollow in part of eastern Kentucky in one of the poorest regions of the Appalachian, in the poorest areas in the Appalachian region. He is the son of Lonzo and Polly Bowling, and he has a brother named Josh. Him and his dad don't really get along very good. They have a kind of a conflict relationship. And Clint's not really happy with where he's at. He doesn't want the life that his parents has had. He doesn't like the struggles that they've been through. He gets depressed thinking about watching them struggle and how there's really no opportunities in their area. He wants to marry his girlfriend, Shirley Couch, who is his high school sweetheart. The family system all lives in the Hollow as a small community in a way. They have their own little houses and things, but they are all very close together. All of Irene and Bass's children live, except for one, live within an hour of each other. And this is what part that kind of gets on Clint's nerves is there's always somebody telling him what he needs to do, what he should be doing, what he ain't been doing, that he needs to be doing. And that's part of his relationship that he doesn't like about the Hollow as well. In the video, it shows his mother and the rest of the women doing chores with old-time washing machines. They don't have inside washing machines in their houses. And then they hang their clothes up to dry on a clothesline. And it shows his mother even collecting buckets of water from the rain to wash her clothes in, because she said their water has sulfur in it. She doesn't like that. So they have to do a lot of things, or do some things that is not very convenient, and it's not like a normal American household in a way, because a lot of households have washing machines inside the house. They don't go outside and wash clothes like they did before people got, the things that we have today that make our lives a little bit easier. They actually had to use those things to scrub like they do now. They actually have to scrub their clothes and wring them out and rinse them and hang them up, and then you have to go get them off the line, fold them. So that's just one of the things that the women have to do. And the good thing about all the families, you are surrounded by so many people that love you, and there's always memories that are made. They have a lot of family dinners. The video shows family sitting around the fire, and it was Lonzo and his siblings talking about when they were growing up, and then there's a video in the video shows the Easter egg hunt, and all the little kids running around the yard finding eggs. Did show one of the family members going to jail, and all of them pulling together to try to get him out of jail. Some of them tried putting up their properties, and then they got $500 together, which is a big amount for them. That's, when you're on government checks and food stamps and stuff, and you're not making a regular check, that $500 is quite a bit of money. So they're a tight-knit group, and everyone really cares about each other. But being family, there's going to be conflicts from time to time, and that's what Clint and his father has. They live with very limited resources in an area that has no economic growth. There's no jobs coming to the area. There's no jobs that are really there. So if there's none coming, there's none really there. So a lot of them they have nothing but to try to hunt off the land, gather what they can, raise gardens. And it was really sad to see when they were trying to get that one of his uncles out of jail, is that their houses were less than $5,000. I mean, that's the value of those houses. That's unheard of around here in my area. I mean, maybe if you lived in a trailer that's really old, but still, it's not common for somebody to have a property, a place, a home to live in that's not worth more than that. I mean, it's just kind of hard to come by. It's not something that you see every day. But the men in the area, and Clint's family, they'll go and dig ginseng, and they'll collect moss, and that's their way of helping provide more money for their family. And that's what they do, is they get that, and then they hunt some, they raise a garden, and they use government assistance. They get food stamps, they draw a check, insurance. He does get an opportunity to go live, or to move in with his uncle in Cincinnati, to try to help him get a job and to get him out of the hollow. But this movie is like a year-long documentary explaining about Clint Bowling and his family and the issues that they live under, the poverty in their area, and how this family exists and lives in one of the poorest areas in the Appalachian region. And it also shows, some of their struggles. They talk a lot about their, things that they've been through in their lives. And then Clint, he has some issues with his emotions, and he uses a lot of verbal aggressions with his anger. And he hasn't had a lot of life experience out in the real world because he's been so long in the hollow that, he hasn't had to be in a lot of real life experiences. And he has no training. I mean, he's graduating high school, so he does have a diploma, but there's nothing really that he can do with it in that area, other than say that he is a high school graduate. It will help him if he, when he does go. He did leave the hollow, it says, for about 4 weeks, and comes back, and he often says that he's going to leave again. On his Facebook page, it showed a baby that has had open heart surgery. It looks like it's his child. Says that it's doing good from, everything that it's been through. His Facebook page doesn't have a whole lot on it. But it does say that he lives in Cincinnati. But I don't know if that's still where he's at or not. But it does have, one of his likes is the movie American Hollow. But Clint wants to be a fully independent man in the world. He wants to be able to provide for his family in the video. He doesn't want to, struggle like his parents did. He wants to be able to provide for his family and not have to depend on the government. He doesn't want to go climb the hills and dig ginseng and gather moss and go sell it and then try to survive without a regular paycheck, and just survive with a check that you get from the government and food stamps and insurance and what little much money you can get out digging the ginseng and gathering the moss and all that. And I think that's part of what his problem is with his dad, is because his dad's, telling him, when I was your age, I did this and all that. And Clint's like, yeah, he bought a truck, but that's all he's done in the video. So that's part of their issues. But this video lets you see a part of the world that you don't know exists. You don't know how good you do have it when you look around and see what they had. I did like how they are so close, and it's like they're kind of carefree in a way, because they don't have to worry about getting up and going to work. They don't have to worry about getting fired. They don't have to worry about much of anything, as long as other than that the government keeps continuing to provide for them. Like Irie and Bass, they seem to have had a very good life out on the hollow. They've had 13 children, which for me, even if I had a husband, I don't think he would have to make pretty good money for us to be able to support 13 children out in the area that we're in. and we're not in a big city that, you know, the cost of living is so expensive. It's just, that's a lot of children to raise. That's a lot of mouths to feed, and I can't really work and provide for all those children and pay for daycare if I needed it. And that's, I guess that was one of the good things about being in the Hollow, is they didn't work, so they didn't have to worry about those kind of expenses, the daycare and different things like that for the children. They didn't have to have a lot of dress clothes. They got hand-me-downs and things like that, and they're happy. And that's why I guess so many of them are still there, even though they don't have a lot of options to get out. They like the closeness of the family. They like being there with each other, in a way. All of Clint's uncles and aunts do, it seems like. But that's what the video shows, is Clint and his family surviving in a very poor area in eastern Kentucky. It's very interesting to see, you know, what they did to make the money, how they lived, how they were as a family, and how they just all, you know, pretty much got along and rallied around each other and was there for one another. But that is my story about Clint Bowling and his family. Thank you for watching. Bye.